Hello YouTube, it's me TFL Wilderness and welcome to my channel and welcome to the first of this year's review videos. And I'm kicking off 2021 with a Korean toy review, of course, a KTRT review. This is the first Korean toy I've bought this year. And I will say up front of this video, this year I probably won't be doing so many Korean toy reviews because I've had to cut back on my monthly budget for the bots that I buy every month. I mean, I've reduced it from £400 to £300. It means I haven't got as much money to spend on bots, and Korean toys generally tend to be quite expensive. For the bigger figures, you're talking 50-60 quid each, and I used to buy 2 per month, but now that I've had to reduce my my budget, I've decided to cut back from 2 Korean toys a month to 1 Korean toy a month, and yeah, so I won't be doing quite so many reviews, but I'm hoping maybe I'll put the question out. I'm getting into the Kingdom line at the moment. I've got the majority of Kingdom Wave 1 already. I'm wondering, would you like to see me do official reviews of current figures, like figures from the Kingdom line? So if you think I should maybe do more proper Transformer reviews, then put comment down in the on this video if you would be so kind. But today it's all about Korean toys, and I've gone back to a Korean toy line that I thought I was done with. I thought I've got all the figures I wanted to get from that line. There are some other characters I'd like them to make figures of, but they haven't. And there is one sort of figure that somebody's made as like a KO version of a character that never got an original toy, and I'm trying to get hold of it, but it's difficult because people keep sending me a knockoff repaint of another character I've already got, if that makes any sense. So the toy line or the show that I'm talking about is Robot Trains, a Korean toy line and show that goes back, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. It originally came out. Season 1 was pushed quite heavily in Korea by the company that made it. The Season 1 show ran for 32 sort of like 10-minute episodes. Very good show, a bit dark and edgy for a kids show, really, but I kind of like that. I kind of like it had like a proper story arc to it. That you had episodes that kind of went into another, and there was proper story arcs to it. There was a lot of real bad, evil stuff that went on with some of the bad guys. Like there was this evil computer virus which took over one of the characters and made him go bad, and he attacked the other characters in the main base twice throughout the series, and then later on he became good, and then they had to fight off a horde of evil sort of viral copies of that character, and it was a really, really good show. And I bought a bunch of characters from that show, including this guy. This is Alf. This is his original sort of like Season 1 version, and this toy was made by a company called Genie. They made a bunch of characters from Season 1, not all the Transforming characters. There was 2 characters that they didn't make toys of, Jeffrey and Duke. But there's only 7 Transforming robot characters from Season 1. And I got a figure of Alf. But then that show didn't do particularly well. It didn't do as well as the show makers had liked, and it sort of went out of favour. But the show got dubbed into a number of different languages, most notably European language. I know it got dubbed into English, it got dubbed into French and German and Russian. It got dubbed into Russian, and the show picked up a bit of traction. It got kind of popular in the European community, and it built up enough of a following that they decided to make a Season 2. Now, when they made Season 2, they made significant changes to Season 2. I mean, they changed the format of the show completely. Yes, they ported over a bunch of the characters from Season 1. Kay, Alf, Victor, Duck and Selly. But Jeffrey just disappeared. Duke, he got transferred over into Season 2 and he became like one of the bad guys in Season 2. But they introduced a bunch of new characters. And these new characters, they have made toys of. They've also did reissues of the original toys from Season 1, but they gave them repaints. They changed their colour palette slightly. Like Kay, he's now got sporting a much lighter shade of blue and far fewer paint apps than the original toy. Alf, he was basically still a red guy, but they did away a lot with the white stripes. He's now just got like a thin yellow stripe that goes across the front, and he doesn't look quite as good as his original season 1 version. And then you got the new characters. Now, you got Gary, who's like an old dude who lives in because in season 2 you've got like Rail Watch, which is this group of rangers that go around to the different areas of the new sort of train world where they live, and help out people who are in trouble or having problems, and they send the Rail Watch Rangers out to deal with them, and like Alf, Kay and Victor, they're like the Rail Watch Rangers, and they've also got a new character who joins them, is Maxi. Now I've already done a review on season 2 Maxi. In that review, I've just rewatched it literally just before I did this video. I put a lot of details in it about Maxi in season 2. She's referred to as the Energizer. She has this generator on her backpack which she can spin up, which gives her superpower, which allows her to go really fast. And also she can, if she comes to a bot who's like run out of energy, she can basically be like a big old battery charger. She can like charge them up and bring them back to life. And she actually rescues Kay at one time when he runs out of energy in a field of sunflowers, and nobody can find out where he is because he's out of contact with Rail Watch. And Maxi goes out looking for him, and she finds him, and then she resuscitates him with her Energizer power. Did a review on her. In my review I said she didn't have any knee articulation, but it turns out she does have knee articulation. It's just that one of the knees that I tried to move was like really stiff and it didn't want to move, but her knees do work, so she has got knee articulation. And another thing I forgot to notice about these season 2 toys is they've got the coupling hooks, so they can hook onto the train. Now, the original figures, some of them, like Alf here, he has got a coupling hook. So you pull it down and then you flip it out, and there's his coupling hook. Now, if you look, it's like a ring. It's like a coupling ring. Now, the coupling hooks on the new season 2 trains have like a pin. So I don't know whether that's different, but yeah, I forgot to mention that in my review of Maxi, that she has actually got she's got a coupling. So yeah, I did a review on her. But after I bought her, I thought I was done with the characters, and then I got Duck, season 1 Duck. Did a review on him, but he's a very small, very basic sort of bot. But Maxi's okay. But another character that was introduced into season 2, and the subject of today's review, is this gal. This is Genie. Now, before we actually get into the figure, let's have a quick look at the box. Here is her box. As she's a season 2 character, it says S2 there. The season 2 toys are made by, or they're distributed by Silverlit, and they are made by a company called David. Now, if I get one of the original boxes from season 1, this is Alf's box. As you can see, it's quite a bit longer than this box, mainly because Alf comes with the upgrade parts, the power-up parts that clip onto his body to make him more powered up. But these boxes are made out of a really stiff cardstock, very strong cardstock. They've got a fairly large window. Good solid sturdy boxes. These new boxes made out of a very, very thin papery cardboard. They do have a big plastic bubble inside, and if you look on the back, they have like a backdrop for the backing card, which shows a scene from the show. For Maxi's box, it was like a cloud, like a field with like blue sky and clouds, because she was mostly out in the sunny land where all the sunflowers are. And Genie, it's got the backdrop for the Rail Watch base. But these boxes, they're a bit light and a bit flimsy, but they are what they are. They're made by a different company, but the quality on the packaging, at least, the original toys, much better made boxes. These are in kind of a thin and flimsy boxes, so you know, the original toys are, so far in terms of packaging, are better than the new toys. But anyway, let's continue. Genie. Now, what can I say about Genie? Now, obviously, the most obvious thing, she's got a big, massive pair of glasses on. They do unclip. You can take them off. But then she's got these unsightly holes in her front, but she always wears them. And the reason she wears these glasses is that she's a smart bot. You know, she's clever. She's intelligent. And she is the... hang on a minute. There we go. She's a very smart, clever bot, and she works in the Railwatch HQ, where she's the coordinator for Railwatch. She's in radio communication with the other Railwatch Rangers when they're out and about doing their good deeds for the people of the rail world in other places. And she's a bit of an inventor. She likes to invent and tinker with things. She's always doing upgrades to the equipment of Railwatch and some of the equipment that the other robot trains use. Most notably, there's one episode where she makes a drilling attachment, a heavy duty drilling attachment for Victor, and then he uses it to basically drill through a massive great rock that's fallen over an entrance to a cave, and he just drills straight through it, and it's pretty cool. But also, one thing I will say about Genie is she's smart and clever, and she knows it. You know, she's a bit of a smart aleck. She likes telling people about how clever and how intelligent she is, and she's a bit conceited and a bit full of herself, and sometimes that gets her into trouble. I mean, there's one episode in particular where she was thinking she was being really clever and doing something for the other robot trains, and they were basically ignoring her, and she got a bit upset about it. But it all came good in the end. So yeah, she's a bit of a thing. She gets a lot of screen time in season 2 as well. You know, out of all the characters in season 2, I think the new characters, it's definitely, you know, Maxi and Genie who get the most screen time and the most sort of episodes sort of devoted to them. Now, one thing I've just noticed, size-wise, she's quite a bit smaller than Maxi. Now, Maxi's not really a big bot. I mean, you put Maxi next to Alf, and you can see that Maxi is smaller than Alf. But Genie's even smaller. So she's not a big bot by any means. She's kind of lightweight and a bit rattly, as you can hear. She has got a coupling hook as well that I noticed. There you go. She's got the coupling hook, so she can attach to a train. Even though she didn't come with a train, a lot of the characters from season 2, they don't come with trains. You know, like the DX version of K that I reviewed from season 1. And they did do a train for some of the characters, but instead of having 3 cars, they now only have 2 cars. So yeah, they've cut back on that, and I assume they've changed the form of the coupling because, as I said, you know, the coupling on the season 1 trains was a loop, and these are a pin. So they've obviously changed the design of the coupling for what trains they've got. So yeah, so as you can see, she's a bright yellow and orange character. She's got some white apps on her as well, and a little bit of black. I really dig her colours because, you know, orange is one of my favourite colours, so she really pops as far as I'm concerned. Yes, she's got the glasses because, you know, she's a clever person. You know, she's a smart aleck, so she wears the glasses to make her look like a very, very studious. And there she is. Now, articulation is basically the same as other robot trains that I reviewed. You you've got nothing on the face. The arms have, if you look underneath, you can see the arms, they hinge to a ball joint pocket up in here. So they give you a little bit of limited motion forwards and backwards and up and down. You can sort of twizzle them a little bit. You then got the elbow, which is ratcheted, which will go back a little bit and forwards to 90 degrees. She's got a fist that slides in and out. Now, as with, well, I didn't mention this in my review of Maxi, but Maxi's she's got pegs in her hands. Now, I've tried a 5mm peg weapon. Like, I've got Combiner Wars Megatron's gun here, and I've been trying to fit it in there, but it doesn't quite go. So they're not quite 5mm peg compliant. Her fist holes are slightly obscured by this sleeve thing that she's got, like panel that sticks out of her sleeve on her arms. So you can't really do much with that. You've got the side panels that are hinged. Then you get down to the legs. She's got the waist joint for transformation. The hips are ball jointed. They go forwards and backwards and a little bit side to side. And then knees. Now she does have working knees. Like I said, I've said Maxi didn't have working knees, but she does. But they were stiff. They didn't work when I did my review. But they only go back to 45 degrees, and they will hinge forwards as well. So I think you see a little bit of motion there. Nothing else going on really. There's not much more you can say about her. Very sort of limited and restricted figure, but then again, you know, the way the joints, the way the limbs are designed, the way the joints work, and the bulk of the limbs as well, it just works against it. They're pretty limited to what they can actually do, but most of the robot trains are much of a muchness. So transformation, very simple, right? First of all, backpack, just flip it up. It's on a kind of like a spring-loaded thing. You can bring out her coupling if you want. Then the legs, you spin the waist around, you collapse the legs, and then you fold them up, and then they clip into here, little clip-in ports. And then finally, collapse the fists, fold the arms down, straighten them, angle them out, and then fold the side panels down like so. And there we go, there's Genie in her train mode. Not much you can say about it. It's a little yellow and orange train with white windows. Again, she's got her face on. She's got little hooters or horns on the top, I suppose. She's got like this lump on here. Bit plain on the back. Yes, she's got the coupling that she can attach to a train if she wants, and she's got the wheels with the little spinning couplings. So there we go. Let's quickly transform Maxi back to and there she is next to Maxi, her other Season 2 counterpart. Now, of the Season 2 characters that you can buy for the toy line, you've got the rehashes of the Season 1 characters, who they repainted. And then you get, these are the two unique characters that were introduced for Season 2. However, there are other characters that got introduced for Season 2. You've got Gary, is this old dude who lives in the Rail Watch headquarters. He's largely bumbling around and sort of doing little things. He's a bit of a chatterbox. He likes to chat and tell stories, and he also likes playing games of chess and stuff like that. And he's basically there to annoy Genie, because Genie's always really important about she's really busying herself about doing her job as the Rail Watch sort of coordinator, and then Gary's always coming in and annoying her. And then you've got the baddie characters, so to speak. You've got Duke, obviously They didn't do a toy of Duke. Again, they didn't do one for season 1. They haven't done one for season 2. Duke is now a member of this bad guy company who call themselves the Family. He's got Duke, and then you've got Moss and Doss, who are 2 other like minor train characters who basically are sort of like cohorts of Duke. They have a motto, kind of like Team Rocket. You know, they go around and they're basically trying to steal the energy balls that they generate in all the different zones, and you know, cart them back to Professor X or Dr. X, who's just uses the energy balls to make, you know, massive, great, you know, sort of evil contraptions to take over the world. And that's about it, really. There's not many new characters they brought in for season 2. These are the only ones they made transforming toys of. I wish they'd have done more, but that's it. The other thing about season 2 that's really weird is these humanoid characters that are in season 2. They're called railers. They're these little sort of simplistic humanoids. They're like children that basically they use them as an energy source, because when they have fun at the various zones, like there's a big water park where they go down a water slide holding an energy ball, and through the happiness that they generate, it powers up the energy balls, and then they collect them and they send them back to the Rail Watch headquarters, and they use them as a power source for the whole, you know, the whole world. But you know, you've got Duke and the Family. You know, Moss and Doss are always going around, sneaking around, trying to steal these balls from the various zones. But these human characters, the Railers, they're a bit weird. There's no sign of them in season 1. They're only in season 2. The other thing about season 2 is each episode is a standalone story. There's no story arcs of a more important story that runs throughout the episodes. And season 2, it's best thing you can describe it is a reboot of season 1. It's a totally new series. It's totally new, you know, character. A lot of the characters from season 1 who carry over to season 2, their voices and attitudes change slightly. You know, it's really, really weird, and I can't recommend watching season 2. I mean, both these seasons are available on Netflix. If you've got Netflix, you can go and watch seasons 1 and 2 on Netflix. Highly recommend you go watch season 1. It's brilliant. But season 2, it's a bit of a mixed bag. There are some episodes that are worth watching. I mean, some of the episodes starring Genie are kind of interesting, worth a watch, and also some of the episodes with Maxi in are quite good to watch. But on the whole, I would not recommend watching, you know, Robot Train season 2. It's not all that. Season 1 has got that dark edginess which appeals to me greatly, and it's a really good, cool show and definitely worth watching. But anyway, that's been my review, Korean toy review of this girl, Robot Train season 2, Genie. She's a bit small, she's a bit simple, but you know, she's bright and colourful, and her character's quite interesting in the show. That's about all I can say about it. That's been me, TFR Wilderness. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Don't know if I'm going to do any more reviews this month. Like I said, if you want to see me review Kingdom figures, then I'm open to it. But I need people to tell me that that's what they want to watch. And I'm only going to do them if they get the views. If I do a Kingdom review and it only gets like 20 views in the first 24 hours, then that's it. I'm just not going to bother with them. So, you know, you've got to support me, guys. You know, my viewers, please give me some support. I never beg for views usually, but, you know, times are hard these days, and you know, what's the point of, you know, sitting down and recording a video if nobody's going to watch it? So yeah, that's been me. I've been TFR Wilderness. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.